This video will guide you through the setup of the DJI FPV combo and the DJI Motion Controller before your first flight. Before flying DJI FPV, you will need to complete the following preparations. Unboxing. Open and unpack the boxes of the DJI FPV combo. Take out the drone and goggles at the top of the box. Then take out the remote controller underneath. Take out the accessories in the box. Remove the gimbal protector. Remove the protective adhesive from the gimbal. Mount the 4 antennas to the corresponding positions on the goggles. Connect the AC power adapter with the AC power cable. Take out the DJI Motion Controller. Visit the download page on DJI's official website. Scan the QR code on the page, download the DJI Fly app, and log in or register a DJI account. Press the power button once to check the battery level of each component. Use the AC power adapter in the box to charge the flight battery of the DJI FPV drone. The DJI FPV goggles battery, DJI FPV remote controller, and DJI Motion Controller can be charged with a USB-C cable connected with the AC power adapter. Below is the charging time for each component. Motion controller, 2.5 hours. Remote controller, 2.5 hours. Intelligent flight battery, 50 minutes. Goggles V2 battery, 2.5 hours. Insert the flight battery into the drone. Press the power button once and then hold to power on the drone. Use the power cable to connect the goggles with the goggles battery. Press the power button once and then hold to power on the goggles. Press the power button once and then hold to power on the DJI FPV remote controller or motion controller. Linking. Linking refers to the establishment of a wireless connection between different components. If the following circumstances occur, you may need to link the components again. The rear aircraft status indicators of the drone are quickly flashing yellow. The battery level LEDs of the remote controller are quickly flashing at the same time. After powering on all components, link the drone with the goggles first. Press the red linking button of the goggles using a small, thin object. Press and hold the power button of the drone. When linking is successful, the goggles will stop beeping, and the drone's aircraft status indicators will stop flashing in sequence. Next, link the drone with the remote controller or motion controller. Press and hold the power button of the remote controller or motion controller. Press and hold the power button of the drone. When linking is successful, the remote controller or motion controller will stop beeping, and the drone's aircraft status indicators will stop flashing in sequence. Connect the USB-C OTG cable to the USB-C port of the goggles. Connect the goggles to a mobile device using the USB-C data cable. Launch the DJI Fly app on your mobile device. If this is your first time using DJI FPV, you will receive an activation prompt in the DJI Fly app. Please follow instructions to complete activation. After activating DJI FPV, update the firmware of each component to the latest version, and a prompt "New firmware available" will appear in the upper left corner. Follow instructions to download the firmware and wait for the update to complete. You can also use DJI Assistant 2 FPV series on a computer to update the firmware of each component separately. Switching controllers. Follow the steps below if you want to switch controllers after linking. Power off the DJI FPV remote controller 2. Power on the DJI Motion Controller. Link the DJI FPV drone with the DJI Motion Controller. If it is your first time using the DJI Motion Controller, activation is required before linking it with the drone. After linking, connect the goggles with your mobile device and use the DJI Fly app to activate the DJI Motion Controller and update the firmware. You are now ready for your first flight with DJI FPV. Thank you for watching.
This video will guide you through the setup of DJI FPV Explorer combo before first flight. Open the box of the DJI FPV Explorer combo. Take out DJI FPV, DJI Goggles Integra, DJI FPV Remote Controller 2, and the provided accessories in turn. Remove the gimbal protector of DJI FPV. Hook the headband and unfold the antennas. When using the Intelligent Flight battery for the first time, please charge it for at least 10 seconds to wake it up. Please connect the Intelligent Flight battery to the AC power adapter included in the package while the battery is powered off, and then connect to a power supply. The battery level LEDs blink in sequence and display the current battery level during charging. It is advised to use the charger recommended by the DJI official website to charge DJI Goggles Integra and DJI FPV Remote Controller 2. Insert the Intelligent Flight battery into the battery compartment of the DJI FPV aircraft and connect it to the power port. Press the power button once, then press again and hold to power on or off the aircraft. Press the power button on the goggles once, then press again and hold to power on or off the goggles. Press the power button on the remote controller once, then press again and hold to power the remote controller on or off. Activation and updating. Please use your mobile device to scan the QR code on the package or the DJI official website to download and install the latest DJI Fly app, and then log in or register a DJI account on the app. Connect the USB-C OTG cable to the USB-C port of the goggles and then to your mobile device with a smartphone cable. Make sure the mobile device is connected to the internet. Launch the DJI Fly app on your mobile device. If this is your first time using DJI FPV, you will receive an activation prompt in the app. Please follow the instructions to complete activation. After activation, update the firmware of all devices to the latest version. Enter the homepage of the DJI Fly app, and a prompt, "New firmware available," will appear in the upper left corner. Follow the instructions to download the firmware and wait for the update to complete. You can also use DJI Assistant 2 on a computer to activate and update the firmware of the DJI FPV drone, goggles, and remote controller separately. Thank you for watching.
DJI FPV tutorials. First flight. DJI FPV drone. Open the microSD card cover and insert a microSD card. Remove the gimbal cover. Ensure the propellers are properly attached. Align the propeller on the motor, then press down and rotate to secure them. Insert the battery into the battery compartment. Make sure it is secured in place. DJI FPV Goggles V2. The front of the DJI FPV Goggles V2 has 4 replaceable antennas to ensure optimum signal receiving and communication. Ensure the antennas are properly tightened before flying. On the upper right side of the goggles, you will find the shutter record button, back button, and 5D button. Toggle the 5D button to scroll the menu and press to confirm a selection. Toggle up to go back, and toggle down to move to the next option. Toggle right to shift menu options right. Toggle left to shift menu options left. On the right side of the goggles, you will find the link button, power port, and audio port. The microSD card slot and USB-C port are on the left side. The USB-C port can be used to connect with smartphones via the OTG cable. On the bottom of the goggles, you will find the IPD slider. You can adjust the interpupillary distance by moving the slider left or right. You can also purchase and install DJI FPV Goggles corrective lenses according to your visual needs. DJI FPV Remote Controller 2. The DJI FPV Remote Controller 2 has a USB-C port in the middle that can be used for charging or to connect to a computer for firmware updates. Control stick slots are located on both sides of the remote controller. On the front side of the remote controller, you can find the customizable C1 button, lanyard attachment, and power button. Press the power button once to check the battery level. Press once and then hold for 2 seconds to power the remote controller on or off. The antenna is located on the top of the remote controller. Unfold the antenna during flight for optimum signal transmission. You will find the Flight Pause RTH button, Flight Mode switch, and gimbal dial on the left side. Press the Flight Pause RTH button once while flying, and the drone will stop and hover in place. Press the button and hold for 2 seconds, and the drone will automatically return to home. The flight mode switch button supports 3 modes: N, normal mode; S, sport mode; and M, manual mode. Toggle the gimbal dial to the left and right to adjust the gimbal pitch. In the top of the controller, you will find the customizable C2 switch, shutter record button, and start-stop button. The C2 switch is set to control gimbal movements by default. You can also customize this button's function by going to Setting, Control, Remote Controller on the goggles interface. Press the shutter record button once to take a photo or to start or stop recording. Press and hold the shutter record button to switch between photo and video modes. Pre-flight setup. For your first flight, we recommend choosing an open and unobstructed area. Check the battery level and place the drone on level ground. Remember, the drone should be facing outward with the rear side facing you. Power on. Check the battery level of the remote controller and power on. Set the remote controller to in mode before taking off. Check the battery level of the goggles. Power on. And adjust the headband and interpupillary distance for a clear, comfortable display. Check the screen interface and make sure no errors occur and GPS signal is sufficient. Power on the motors of the drone by pushing the control sticks down and inward. Then push the left stick up to ascend. The RTH point will be set after takeoff. Please remember the position of your home point. Basic operation, using mode 2 as an example. In mode, use the left control stick to adjust flight height and heading. Use the right control stick to fly the drone forward, backward, left, and right. When pushing the right stick to fly forward, you can also push the left stick to the left or right for turning with customizable roll angle limits. In mode, the drone will only slow down when obstacles are detected. It will not stop and hover automatically. You'll need to manually control the drone to stop or to bypass detected obstacles. After switching to S mode, control logic will remain the same, but the drone's maximum flight speed will increase to 27 meters per second. In S mode, obstacle sensing is disabled. S mode also supports cruise control. Press the Start-Stop button to enter cruise control. Press again to exit. Once cruise control is enabled, the drone will fly forward at a constant speed without any control stick movements. You can also move the right control stick forward or backward to accelerate or decelerate. For users interested in M-mode flight, make sure you have watched the M-mode tutorial before flying and have adequately practiced in the DJI Virtual Flight app in order to ensure a safe, controlled flight. If an emergency occurs or you experience loss of orientation or control during flight in any mode, simply press the Flight Pause RTH button and the drone will stop and hover in place. RTH and landing. Press and hold the Flight Pause RTH button to make the drone automatically return to home. When returning to home, set the drone to in mode and always keep an eye on the home point shown on screen. Pay attention to the surrounding environment when landing. Due to the limitations of GPS precision, there may be small deviations between the set home position and the actual landing location. You can press the Flight Pause RTH button again to cancel return to home. In order to avoid any burns caused by overheating, do not detach the propellers immediately after landing. Safety precautions. If the drone is lost during flight, but the camera view is still available, go to the Find My Drone page and try to locate it on the map using the camera view, along with flashes and beeps from the drone. If the camera view is not available, you can locate your drone by comparing the coordinates on the Find My Drone page with the coordinates in your lap.
Linking. If the following circumstances occur, the rear aircraft status indicators of the DJI FPV aircraft are quickly blinking yellow, or the battery level LEDs of the remote controller blink. You may need to link the devices again. After powering on, link the DJI FPV aircraft with the goggles first. Press and hold the power button of the DJI FPV aircraft until it beeps continually, and the battery level LEDs blink in sequence. Press and hold the power button on the goggles until the goggles start to beep continually, and the battery level LEDs blink in sequence. The DJI FPV aircraft and goggles start linking. Once linking is successful, the goggles stop beeping, and the battery level LEDs of the aircraft and goggles stop blinking and display the battery level. Next, link the DJI FPV aircraft with the remote controller. Press and hold the power button of the DJI FPV aircraft until it beeps continually, and the battery level LEDs blink in sequence. Press and hold the power button on the remote controller until it starts to beep continually, and the battery level LEDs blink in sequence. The DJI FPV aircraft and remote controller start linking. Once linking is successful, the remote controller stops beeping. The battery level LEDs of the aircraft and remote controller stop blinking, turn solid and display the battery level. At this point, you have successfully linked the DJI FPV aircraft with the goggles and remote controller. Thank you for watching.
If you replace any device of DJI FPV, for example, the remote controller or the aircraft, you will need to link the devices again. Before linking, make sure that the goggles, aircraft, and remote controller are all powered on with sufficient battery levels. Devices in the DJI FPV combo are already linked and do not require linking before use. Linking the aircraft with the goggles. Press the linking button on the goggles once and you will hear a beeping noise. Press and hold the aircraft power button for 5 seconds until the battery level LED blinks and there is a beeping noise. Wait between 5 to 30 seconds for the goggles to link with the aircraft. The aircraft battery LED turns solid and displays the battery level. The goggles stop beeping, and the live view from the camera will be displayed in the goggles. Linking the aircraft with the remote controller. When the goggles are powered on, link the remote controller with the aircraft. Press and hold the aircraft power button for 5 seconds until there is a beeping noise. The battery LED will blink in sequence and a yellow LED light will begin to blink quickly. Press and hold the remote controller power button for 5 seconds until the battery LED blinks in sequence and there's a beeping noise. Wait between 5 to 30 seconds for the goggles to link with the aircraft. The aircraft battery LED will turn solid and display the battery level. All devices have been successfully linked. In this video, we will show you how to use the DJI Motion Controller and enjoy a flight experience unlike anything else. The USB-C port at the bottom of the motion controller can be used to charge the device and connect to a computer for firmware updates. The power button is on the right side of the device. Press once to check the battery level. Press once and then hold for 2 seconds to power the device on or off. The accelerator is located on the outward-facing side of the device. Press the accelerator to move the aircraft forward. Apply more pressure to fly faster. Release the accelerator to stop flying forward. On the user-facing side of the device, you'll find the lock button, brake button, and the mode button. Use the lock button to make the aircraft take off or land. Use the brake button to activate the emergency brake and hover feature, or to make the aircraft return to the home point. Press the mode button once to switch between modes. On the left side of the device, you'll find the gimbal tilt slider and the shutter record button. Adjust the gimbal tilt slider to control gimbal tilt. Press the shutter record button once to take a photo or to start or stop recording a video. Press and hold the shutter record button to switch between photo and video mode. Press and hold the power button of the aircraft until the battery level indicators blink in sequence. Press and hold the power button of the motion controller until it beeps continually and the battery level indicators blink in sequence. The motion controller stops beeping when linking is successful, and both the battery level indicators turn solid and display the battery level. Connect the USB-C port of the goggles to your mobile device. Open the DJI Fly app and follow the prompts to activate. If the motion controller is not using the latest version, There will be a prompt on the top left corner of the DJI Fly homepage for a firmware update. Tap the prompt to update to the latest firmware. Before you fly, be sure to place the aircraft in an open, unobstructed location. Check the goggles interface to make sure there are no warning prompts and that GPS signal is adequate. Press the lock button twice to start the aircraft motors. Press the lock button and hold, and the aircraft will take off automatically and hover approximately 1 meter above the ground. Press the accelerator to control the drone to fly towards the circle seen on the goggles interface. Tilt the device up or down, and the circle in the center of the goggles screen will move up or down accordingly. Press the accelerator, and the drone will fly towards the location indicated by the circle. To ascend or descend vertically, control the circle on the screen to move up or down until it changes color. Once circle color has changed, press the accelerator and the drone will fly up or down vertically. If you want to make a turn, rotate your wrist and forearm to move the circle on the screen to the left or right. The drone will rotate in the same direction as the motion controller does. You can also hold the motion controller and tilt your forearm to the left or right to make a turn. Press the accelerator and the drone will fly towards the circle. Tilt the device while pressing and the drone will make a turn. To make a quick turn, turn the motion controller quickly 180 degrees, and the drone will do the same. Press and hold the brake button on the device. The drone will automatically enter Smart RTH. When the drone is returning to the home point, please pay attention to any real-time changes of the home point location. Make sure your surroundings are safe for landing in advance. Due to the limited precision of GPS positioning, there may be a slight difference between the home point and actual landing location. The DJI Fly app provides a live view of the aircraft camera, allows you to play back and download footage, and provides quick and easy firmware updates. Open the App Store on your mobile phone and download the DJI Fly app. First, power on the goggles, the remote controller, and the aircraft. And make sure all devices are linked successfully. Connect your mobile device to the goggles via the OTG cable and data cable. Launch the DJI Fly app on your mobile device. Tap Go Fly at the bottom right corner, and you'll be able to see a live view of the aircraft camera. Enter Album at the bottom left of the DJI Fly app home screen to view footage captured by the aircraft camera. You can select and download the footage to your mobile device. If one of the DJI FPV devices is not using the latest firmware, a prompt will appear in the top left corner of the app to remind users to update. Tap the prompt and the firmware will be updated automatically. You can also connect a device to a computer and update the firmware using DJI Assistant 2. A complete update requires connecting the goggles, remote controller, and aircraft, respectively, to a computer. Hit the like button if this tutorial was helpful. If you need any support with your DJI FPV tutorial, replacing parts. In this video, you will learn how to replace several DJI FPV aircraft parts, including the top shell, gimbal, arm bracers, front landing gear, and propeller guard. Before getting started, make sure you have a hex key and the replacement parts required. Remove the gimbal protector and the 4 long screws around the gimbal before detaching the gimbal outer frame. Remove the 4 screws on both sides of the top shell. Detach the top shell. Put a new top shell on the drone. When installing the top shell, align the front part first and then the rear part. Make sure the shell is securely snapped into place. Tighten the screws on both sides of the top shell. Fix the gimbal outer frame by fastening the 4 screws. The replacement of the top shell is now complete. Remove the 4 short screws around the gimbal and the silver camera cable screws. Gently lift the small mantle plate. Remove the camera cable connector and detach the gimbal camera. Gently lift the small metal plate. Remove the camera cable connector and detach the gimbal camera. And tighten the 2 silver screws. Tighten the 4 screws to fix the gimbal camera. Install the top shell and gimbal outer frame. The replacement of the gimbal camera is now complete. Remove the 2 bottom screws and detach the front landing gear. Remove the antenna connector and 2 cable connectors. Then replace the LED panel. Fix the antenna connector and cable connectors. Put on the new front landing gear and tighten the screws. The replacement of the front landing gear and LED panel is now finished. Insert the arm bracer from the bottom of the left aircraft arms and ensure it is fully connected. Mount the buckle on the rear left motor and align with the screw hole. Fasten the screw, and the installation of the arm bracer is finished. Take out the left bases of the propeller guard and connect the ones marked LF and LB. Put the aircraft arm on the corresponding bases, then push down to fix them in place. Lock the buckles, and the installation of the left propeller guard is finished. Thank you for watching.